You always need to do a bang check. Hello Tech Babes, I'm Alexis Wogan. I'm a director of product management and a member of the Unblock team. And I'm here to talk to you today about product leadership and part 2 of a 4-part series that I've designed to convince some of you product designers to become product managers at some point in your career. In episode 1, examining the gap between product design and product management, I explain the differences between the roles and I highlight the gaps, and I hope I communicated that product designers have a lot of advantages when considering a switch from design into product management. And if I've successfully convinced any of you that potentially switching to product management, why don't you attend a one-day workshop that I'm going to be hosting? You can sign up in the link below. It's exclusive to Unblock viewers. It's free, and I'm really going to look to design this to fit the needs of who signs up. And then we'll put together small groups where we can have a lively conversation, get to know each other, and learn more about how you might chart this path into product management. Okay, Tech Babes, that's the pitch. If you like the content, then please subscribe to the channel. And remember, if at any time I've piqued your interest, sign up for the workshop. All the links are in the description. Before we get into what product leadership really is, we're going to need to clarify the product management role, and we're going to need to talk about the overlap between leadership and management. And then we'll really be able to contextualize the conversation about leadership. I just like to reference what Marty Kagan says. I've said this in other videos, but it's really worth saying again. He says that a product manager is supposed to discover what is valuable, usable, and feasible. And then it's Erickson who has the Venn diagram that I'm always references about how product lives at the intersection of design or user experience, technology, and business. First, let's talk about the business circle, right? This whole function of business. PMs are responsible for maximizing the business value of a product. And we have to stay focused on optimizing a product to achieve the maximum return on investment. The way that you get to your maximum return on investment is through optimization of your team, and it's through really focusing on problems that are worth solving. And that's actually something that product designers are very good at, and I think can bring to the table when they take on this very important business function. Let's talk about the user experience sphere. This is where product designers live, and it's another sphere that product managers need to be familiar with because you have to be customer-centric. You've got to be the voice of the customer. PMs shouldn't try to be the designer, and they shouldn't try and be the researcher. But PMs need to spend a significant portion of their time doing these kinds of discovery activities. They need to be dripping in the customer perspective so that they can do a good job representing their customer at every stage of the life cycle, evangelizing what problems we're solving, making sure that everyone is constantly connected to user needs. This is probably the most important function. As I said, it's really connecting to customer needs that eventually produces money. That's why product designers have a leg up when they're coming in to this whole transition into product management, because you know this. You know, if you don't have a general idea about how the product will be built, it's going to be pretty hard to guide a team to build something. For example, I don't have a tech background. I came from a design background. But what I can do is work with engineers to really understand our general tech stack and our systems and how they work together. I've got a basic understanding of how development works and how they do their jobs. And this allows us to have a common language when we go into figuring out the right solution, breaking it up, and moving it into the delivery engine. As designers working with engineers, you probably have a level of technical aptitude that makes you well suited for being a product manager. You need to have the general understanding, not know how to write the code yourself. Why do PMs have to pull from all cross-functional roles? Well, it's because the role is very broad and varied. In a way, PMs are just responsible for doing whatever needs to be done. We have to look around and figure out all the connectivity between all the pieces. If a piece is missing or pieces are not connecting, we have to go fill in the missing piece and connect everything together so that we can actually make progress. It can be stressful, but if you're connected to the vision, do you have a sense of that vision? Are you just so connected to the customer needs? Do you understand the market opportunity? all of this information is assimilated, you pull it all in, you look at it with your team, and merge with a vision, action a team to start taking steps to achieving that vision. And that means you'll be connected to product success. Product success feeds a company. Product success feeds a career trajectory that can be very varied and satisfying and nimble. And this is really the first place that product leadership and management overlap. It's in this vision part of the role and part of the responsibility. You need to have ownership and provide guidance. But you're going to be doing a management job in the sense that you're going to be working a system. The team has to witness the leader, both evangelizing and being the mission, and a manager who is really focused on implementation. And so you're moving back and forth between this leadership role and this management role, which is why product managers already have this leadership component. That's something that I see product designers do all the time, represent their customer and come forward in a way that really brings the vision forward to the rest of the company, like a product manager does. You may have heard this adage that being a PM is like being the CEO. I don't really like that one so much because it implies that you make all of the decisions, and that's not really how it is. I mean, you're working together collaboratively with a team. You're not making the decisions. It's different. You're working with everyone to define how this thing should work and why it should work that way. And so that's different than a CEO who's really responsible for the viability of a business. This is very much about synthesizing the thinking that a group of people are doing and being the glue that holds everything together. You're doing just a different kind of work than a CEO, but I appreciate that the leadership part is spoken to, in that adage. All right, so great product leaders. They need to understand how to present and communicate their ideas in concise ways. Designers that I've worked with are very good at communicating their thinking. I think there's a lot that can be built on in terms of communication skills in a product designer's world that could be leveraged to move into a product leadership role. These skills of charisma and diligence and contribution, I see those all the time in product designers as well, and they are essential to product leadership. They are skills that lead all the way up to the C-suite. That's the next thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about the career path, what product leadership actually unlocks in terms of where you can go in your career. Until recently, product management was more leveled under maybe either engineering or it could have been under marketing. And then nowadays, it's a standalone function. There's a head of product that usually sits on the C-suite. This is now product management sitting at the table, weighing in on strategic decisions, and in some case, that product manager is also the CEO. It makes sense that somebody who is so connected to the vision of the product, the team that's going to build it, would of course be in charge. You don't have to go all the way up. You don't have to become a product manager and one day feel the pressure that you're going to be CEO. It's just a choice. It's just what these skills can level into. And I want you to know that. Product designer's path, is a long individual contributor path. It's got a whole manager track. There's a lot of options, but you have this other little ladder that you can shoot over to product management, and it has a very robust career path. There's lots of levels that move you into product management, the associate level, the senior level. You can be a senior level product manager for years and just level up in your skills. Or you can move into the management track all the way up to director, head of product, or CEO. So essentially, this little ladder over into product unlocks a huge portion of other career opportunities and eventually could put you in the top seat. So if you've got this idea, you want to make a splash, you want to one day be in charge, calling all of the shots, moving into product will put you on the path. So you have to ask yourself, do you want to focus on the product and how it serves your customers' needs? Do you want to zoom out of the tactical activities and have a say in prioritization of the problems that you solve? Are you interested in being on that bleeding edge of defining the path forward? If you've said yes to any of these things, this is a sign that you are at least open to the concept of moving into product management. And this is why you should sign up for my workshop so that we can talk more about it and watch the rest of my videos. And if you like this content, please like and share the video and hit subscribe on the channel. And I look forward to talking to you soon. See you later, Tech Babes.